In Europe, at least, we have divided in a very artificial way the world of literature from the world of film and cinema. And I'm very proud to say that we started an MFA 3 years ago, that we call the Art and Industry of Narration. In my university, it's in English, in which we connect literature, cinema, and TV, because they have a common ground of being arts of narration, arts and industries also. So we think that we did it because we think it's the best preparation for the master in screenwriting that is more focused on writing for cinema and television, but this goes deep into English literature, the classic authors, Shakespeare, etc. And to see also the connections, because many writers have been inspired by cinema, and many writers have been critics of cinema, or watch cinema every day, and there is a very strong connection that our academic system has not acknowledged for many decades, at least in Europe, very different situations. But the reality is not like that. In England, for example, there are many writers that are writers for novels, cinema, and TV. We have had, for example, William Nicholson, that is the writer of Shadowlands, that is a beautiful film, the film of the life of C.S. Lewis. And he has written Shadowlands, Les Miserables, he has rewritten Gladiator. He wrote the film on the shooting set because the producers were not happy with the scenes and with dialogues, so they hired him for a couple of weeks. Then he was working so well that they said, no, stay here and rewrite all the film. So he stayed there for 6 or 7 or 8 weeks rewriting the film. And for example, he is one who has been also director of small films, has been a writer of big Hollywood films, and he said that some of his colleagues are the ones who rewrite also the Marvel films, but they don't appear. For example, he mentioned Tom Stoppard, that is one considered an author, a dramatist, etc., but probably they pay $1 million to rewrite Avengers. It doesn't appear on that. And back to William Nicholson, he has written novels, he has written theater plays, and he was writing, the last time I heard by him, a TV series. So it's a world that is completely connected. But what happens is the stories have a strong rhetoric inside them. They can push you on one side or another without you noticing that. And this can be, only to emphasize something that is true. Before dinner we were speaking about The Social Network, the film about Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. At the end of the film, you think he's a poor guy. He's alone. The structure of the film is a tragedy. He begins making a mistake with his girlfriend, and he makes one mistake after another, and at the end he's alone. And you, at the end of the film, no one wants to be like Zuckerberg. Because the film, this so-called the rhetoric of the story brings you there. And I think it's right, okay. You forget that he has 40 billions in his pocket. You forget that. I say this because you could do another film that was the life of Mark Zuckerberg, this poor guy that has nothing, in 5 years he has 40 billions, okay? And it will be completely another film. But this is the capacity of rhetoric. The Godfather, for example. In The Godfather, you are with a man who kills people, and they give you always good reason why he does that. So at the end you forget that he's been killing people, and you say, okay, Michael, you're great, we won the war. I'm with you. I'm with you that I'm a serial killer. Okay. So this is the power, and it is also the risk on one side of storytelling when it is done in an effective way. In Italy, for example, there was a film that was all about the dream of a woman that is forgotten by his husband in a highway, when she has gone to buy something in a shop, etc. They go away, she's forgotten, and she goes to Venice and she finds love with a flower seller in Venice, and the film ends like a fairy tale, they are together, etc. But this woman has children, has an husband, has lived a life, so the film makes you completely forget that there is this other side of life. So it's very, let's say, it's a big lie. This is a big lie. But the film has been 10 years ago, 20 years ago, very, very successful because it's the romantic dream of going to Venice and finding love with a man, a foreigner who sells flowers, etc. But how can you be happy if you have children and you have forgotten them? It's not possible. But the rhetoric works. The rhetoric can work. About Anne, yes, absolutely. The good thing of cinema, but also the risky thing of cinema and television, that they bring you on a journey and you made experiences. We were speaking at dinner about things that don't have to be preaching. You have to tell the truth without being preaching or like a hammer in your head, because you have to accompany the viewer through a journey that is a journey of real exploration and real awakening, real understanding, and real experience. So these are the strong films that remain in our heart, and they can change lives, as I said. They change lives. You will see in many, many cases, you ask your friends, why did you decide that? I decided that because I've experienced that watching a film or watching a TV series. So, Father Leven mentioned Lord of the Rings, and it's very good because there are, obviously, in cinema, in contemporary cinema and television, also films and TV series that have a strong, let's say, Catholic content without being explicitly that, being explicitly religious. In Lux Media, we have done both explicitly religious stories and both other stories. And Lord of the Rings, I think, is one of the best examples of a contemporary novel that has been made by a person that was deeply in his soul Christian. I had been in Birmingham in a conference in June, and I lived by chance in a hotel. I chose an hotel that was close to the oratory, the one of Cardinal Newman, and I discovered going there that was a house where Tolkien had been living, so I had this Tolkien experience a few months ago. But this is, and it's good that a film of Lord of the Rings has been some of the top films of the last 20 years. This shows that you can do that. But I encourage also, and this is the last thing I say now, because speaking of doing great cinema or great television, obviously there are the two paths, the path of the, let's say, pure art, that is Terence Malick, Andrei Tarkovsky, that are for exquisite, let's say, viewers, and for, let's say, a niche or a smart audience, let's say. And there is the world of this popular culture that is entertainment, but entertainment that always says something. I mentioned before Eric Roth, Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is a film that asks big questions about if our life is a life that is governed by only chance